The Run Lift Mom podcast is brought to you by my efforts as a Zaya Active independent representative and partners Hello Woofy for social media, Red H Nutrition, and Audible. Audible is the newest of this lineup, and if you want to try Audible free, all you've got to do is visit audibletrial.com/runliftmom. Welcome to the Run Lift Mom podcast, where we're talking about running, lifting, and momming, not necessarily in that order. We are going to be squarely in the momming category and even more squarely in the kitchen. That's right, if you are a busy mom and you want to involve your kids in the kitchen, modeling that healthy behavior for them, you're going to want to hear from Kelsie Ruoff. Kelsie is a mom to two strong-willed girls, wife to a Navy veteran, dog mom to a rescue pup, and plant mom to, wait for it, about 60 houseplants. You guys, she is awesome. She loves planners, calendars, notebooks, Post-its, and Sharpies, as well as Netflix binges, and she has got so many tricks up her sleeve about exposing children to preparing food, encouraging them to eat a variety of healthy different foods, and she is sharing them. So without further ado, here's Kelsie Ruoff. Welcome, Kelsie Ruoff, to the Run Lift Mom podcast. How are you doing today, girlfriend?
I am doing so good. We are having great weather here in the Midwest, so I am just taking that all in.
Hey, Midwest is the best. Will you help us get to know you by telling us a personal story about how you've modeled behavior?
Yes. So I am an Army brat. My dad is actually still active duty Army. So health was always a big part of our life growing up because, as you know, in the military, you're meant to be fit. And so that kind of carried over into my childhood. And one of the most important things that we did as a family, because we had such limited time together with the military lifestyle, was making sure that we ate every possible dinner together as a family. And my dad was actually the cook in the household, and we all kind of got brought into that process. So the kitchen and the dining room table have always been a big part of my life. And I am trying to carry those healthy habits on with my family now and bringing my kids into the kitchen and making sure we all sit down for a meal together. And that is kind of what I'm preaching right now to the world.
Friend, we are going to go deep on this. I love it, though. I am smiling ear to ear because, as listeners know, we are a military family. My husband is knocking on 20 years of service, and it's something that is important to us as well. Just that opportunity to be at the table together and talk about the day. Now, I want you to talk about how you involve kids and how you guys do this, but tell me why it's important to you.
So for me, this is also a time that I take to slow down at the end of the day. I really enjoy cooking, so I have tried to bring that joy in with my kids as well. So it's fun to see them learning all of the things in the kitchen and measuring and dumping as their favorite activity. But also it has created an environment where they're more willing to try different foods. So before, I have a 5 and a 3-year-old. They can tend to be picky and live on their chicken nugget, mac and cheese food diet. That's their food pyramid. But since I have brought them into the kitchen and they're helping me make everything, they are much more willing to try what they have made, which means more vegetables, more fruits, different proteins. And that has really been helping them get out of their little comfort zone with foods as well.
So 5 and 3, I mean, I know the age groups well. What kinds of things do you have them do, in the kitchen that involve them, but also keep them safe? Obviously, they're not like chopping onions, are they?
No, correct. No, they are not. They get to use all of the scooping, measuring cups, measuring spoons, and dump it into the bowl for me. They are able to mix the foods together. And then I have a stool that they can stand on to watch things cook on the stovetop from a safe distance so that they feel as included as possible.
That is so great. It occurs to me that with measuring cups and counting things and this and that, it's a really great opportunity to teach or reinforce some of the lessons from school even.
Yes. And my 5-year-old especially is all about numbers and letters right now. So that has been especially helpful to let her show off her skills when it comes to counting all of the different things that we need to add to a particular bowl or pot.
Now, I have to know, Kelsie, right? Like, let's say you've had the most chaotic day and, dinner, you're not feeling super motivated. Do you ever just call in for pizza? Or do you have like a plan B that allows you to still prepare together and have that meal together?
Yes, we are big fans of pizza. My 5-year-old would live on pizza if I let her. So that is definitely a nice treat when I just have run out of time at night or I am just spent from the day. We will order in pizza. We also have a local place that does awesome empanadas. And so that's fun because you can change up the filling each time and still gives us an opportunity to sit down together, maybe just skipping the meal prep part of the evening.
I love that still having that meal is important. And real talk, Kelsie, we were not going to trust you if you said, no, we don't do pizza. Was not going to happen. So if somebody is listening and maybe they're in a similar season of life, right? Like they have small kids. What would you recommend that they do as a first step to get their kids involved in the kitchen?
So I would say the first step is there are a lot of great children's cookbooks out there that have easy recipes to get you guys started. Start there. There's even fun ones like Disney princess cookbooks. Amazon is your best friend. You can find a bunch there. And that just gives you an easy way to get into it. Start with the kid-friendly recipes and work your way up to more adult foods later. I also recommend meals that you can take apart at the end. So maybe your kids don't like all their food touching and all mixed together. Well, if you have something like a stir fry where you have a protein, some veggies, and the rice, you can serve it all up separately for them so that they're not as freaked out about the whole stir fry being mixed together, but they still helped you dump yours together. You just keep a little bit to the side for them, for their plate, and dividing it all up for them.
And bonus, you're not making two different meals because this is not a restaurant, it's the family kitchen.
Yes.
Your girls like the Disney Princess cookbook. Our kids would happily make anything in a Star Wars cookbook.
Yes.
The point being, though, to engage them with things that they like. And I really like that tip about not having to make two separate meals. Just make it kid-friendly.
Yep.
Okay, so listeners, you can either click details or swipe up, depends on the player that you're in, and you can learn more about Kelsie. Kelsie, though, I've got to ask you to tell us about your latest project and how you're helping other moms.
Yes. So I recently launched the Perennial Mom Squad, which is my new membership. Right now, we are working on figuring out how best to get organized in the kitchen because dinner time is usually really chaotic. Everyone's hangry. So I am teaching my 5-step process to meal plan a month's worth of dinners in under an hour. Then you don't have to think about it the rest of the month because you've got it planned out. What we're going to work on next as we head into the holidays is getting all of that holiday chaos under control because as moms, it usually falls on our shoulder to make the holidays magical AF. And so we need to get it under control, rein it in. I've got a lot of processes that will help people do that. So I'm going to be opening up the membership again right ahead of the holidays so that we can all work on it together and keep our stress levels down as much as possible while also bringing all that holiday joy.
I mean, we have to keep the stress levels down so we can run, lift, and mom. I have to tell you, Kelsie, the Perennial Mom Squad, any place that's using hangry as like normal language, that's the place to be.
Yes.
May I ask if folks were to check you out for this holiday season to reduce their stress, would they have access to the materials from the kitchen stuff, like the meal planning?
Yes, everything is backdated. So as soon as you joined, you would have access to all of the stuff that we already did, as well as all the new stuff coming up.
Rock on. Thank you so much, Kelsie.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Y'all, That episode was so incredibly helpful for the kitchen, and I don't know about you, but I am already thinking about the holidays, and I want Kelsie in my corner. If you want to click details or swipe up, you're going to be able to connect with Kelsie. You can also find her at KelsieRuoff.com, KelsieRuoff.com. Connect with her, get in those groups, help save your holidays from stress. And until I get into your earpiece again, remember, for while bodily training is of some value, godliness is of value in every way, as it holds promise for the present life and also for the life to come. That's from 1 Timothy 4:8, and this has been the Run Lift Mom podcast. Hey, Run Lift Mom listeners, you know I'm the mom of 4 kids under age 5, and therefore I am always looking for ways to work smart, not hard. Anchor is the smartest way to make a podcast. Let me tell you why. First of all, there are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, but Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you, so then it can be heard on places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a whole lot more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It is quite literally everything you need all in one place. And y'all, it's free. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Even though this is a presidential election, there are many more candidates on the ballot besides the president. Go to Ballot Ready for a nonpartisan guide to your entire ballot. From there, you can compare candidates based on stances on issues, biography, or endorsements, and save your choices to use when you vote by mail or in the voting booth. You can even request your absentee ballot or make a plan to vote early or on Election Day. This election matters. Make sure you have a plan to vote and stay informed. You can go to ballotready.org and enter your address to make a plan to vote and vote informed.
Thank you for listening to Run Lift Mom. This show